right now, we're standing at a crossroads. A really profound one, actually. It's a choice about how we're all going to exist on this planet. And it boils down to two very, very different paths. Do we just keep building boxes? Or do we learn to tend gardens?
So let's just dive right in with a question. Have you ever felt trapped? You know that feeling, right? Like you're stuck, constrained, seeing the world through a tiny little window with all these invisible walls around you? Yeah, I think we've all been there.
And it's really no wonder we feel that way, because these boxes, they're everywhere. We're talking about the literal buildings we live and work in, sure, but it goes so much deeper. It's our jobs, our social circles, even the very way we're taught to think. They shape our entire world. Now, this isn't some new phenomenon. You could make a pretty strong case that our entire civilization has this deep, historical habit of making boxes. It's a pattern we've been repeating for a long, long time. And this pattern follows a pretty predictable cycle, really, in 4 stages. First, we consume the environment. We take the forests, the soil, the water. Then, with all that stuff, we build our boxes, our cities, our economies, our social structures. And once they're built, the main goal becomes to expand the boxes, which, of course, means we have to consume even more. And finally, we just live inside them, looking inward, almost forgetting about the living world that made it all possible in the first place. But here's the thing, there's a huge hidden cost to all this box building. They might feel safe, but they cut us off from nature. They fuel this us versus them tribalism, because everyone's fighting for a bigger box. They break everything up into little fragmented pieces and silos, and slowly but surely they just dissolve the trust that holds a society together. And this brings us to the urgent part, the really urgent part. This whole pattern, it's reached its absolute limit. The foundation of our box-making world is starting to crack. The system just isn't sustainable anymore. Why? Well, it kind of boils down to 3 really big reasons. First, and this is the big one, every box we build consumes a piece of a finite planet. You can't have infinite growth on a finite world. Second, living inside these boxes gives us massive blind spots, right? We make bad decisions because we can't see the whole picture. And third, all this competition for resources just puts the whole process of collapse on fast forward. So where does that path lead? Well, it leads to a pretty stark and, frankly, unavoidable conclusion. A species just can't keep consuming its own home and expect the roof to stay over its head. The boxes themselves, they're set to fall apart. But that brings us to the most important question of all. If that old way is broken, if it's failing, is there another way forward? And the answer, thankfully, is yes. A huge yes. But it requires a complete 180 in how we think. We have to shift from building boxes to tending a garden. It's a move away from just taking and a move towards symbiosis. What does that actually mean? It means instead of our goal being how much can we take, it becomes how much can we heal? How can we regenerate the very systems that sustain all life? It's this profound shift where we start seeing the earth not as a factory full of raw materials, but as kin, as family. The secret sauce to the garden idea is something called conscious collaboration. Think about it this way. Competition builds walls, but collaboration just dissolves them. This is about deliberately designing our societies to reward cooperation, not just among our friends or in our own country, but across every boundary you can think of, cultures, generations, even across species. I mean, when you put the two side by side, the comparison is just, wow. The old way is us building bigger and bigger boxes while the ground beneath us just erodes away. The new way? It's us, weaving ourselves back into the fabric of nature, creating systems where life is a cycle, resources are renewed, and diversity, that's our greatest strength. Okay, so this all sounds great, right? Tending a garden, conscious collaboration, but how do we actually do that? On a global scale? Well, this is where a framework called Phoenix comes into the picture. It's designed to be the architecture, the blueprint for this new way of living. Phoenix is basically engineered as the antidote to the box problem. So you've got the problem of tribal, ego-driven silos. The Phoenix solution is a system of shared governance where every voice can actually be heard and contribute. You've got the problem of fragmented knowledge and competing priorities. The solution is using tools like AI to help us map our collective goals so we can finally align what we do with what the planet needs. The core logic here is a game changer. It's about creating abundance, not just fighting over what's scarce. It's about making sure our projects fit inside nature's own cycles instead of fighting against them. You can think of Phoenix as the bridge to get us from here to there, from competition to cooperation. It's like the nervous system for a planet that's regenerating. And so, after all of this, it really comes down to a choice for each and every one of us, and for all of us together. Do we keep building our boxes, or do we roll up our sleeves and start tending the garden? And really, the choice couldn't be clearer. On one side, you have the world of boxes. It's a world of tribalism, of endless consumption, of a barren landscape. And on the other side, you have the garden, a world of conscious collaboration, of regeneration, and of thriving life. So the choice is this. We can keep building those boxes until there's absolutely nothing left, or we can step into the garden of healthy symbiosis, where humanity and the earth can finally thrive together. The only question left is, which path are we going to choose?